It's a long way to the top. If you want to rock and roll, you want to rock and roll? Driving on the highway, going to a show. Stopping on the byway, playing rock and roll. Getting round, getting stoned, getting beat up, throwing bone, getting high, getting shook. Watch all your folks, it's harder than it looks. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's easy to do one night stands. Try being a rock and roll band. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll.
Good evening, race fans. I'm your host, Caden Reif, and welcome to another installment of the 2005 season of the NASCAR Coca-Cola Cup Series here from the high ranks of Bristol for round, I believe it is number 6. Yes, it is. On the season here tonight. Going to be a fun one here today, as always, with some cloudy skies overhead. And we will take you trackside in just a moment here from Bristol to take a look at your notable starting lineup and the top 10 here tonight. As Bobby Labonte in the 18 car for Joe Gibbs is going to be on pole today with Casey Kane in the 38 to his outside in second. Jeff Gordon in the 24 car going to be starting in third with Mike Bliss in the 81. In fourth, fifth goes to Jeff Burton in the 99, and sixth, a good run for the 43 team, John Andretti, starting on the outside in row number 3. Jimmy Johnson in the 48 in 7th place with David Green in 8th. Another good run there. For the 21, a bit of an outlier. It's going to be 9th place Ryan Newman in the 12 and Greg Biffle in the 16 rounds out the top 10. A couple of notable qualifiers throughout the field. Most of the starting lineup looking fairly normal, but a couple of down runs for the 97 of Carl Edwards starting in 39th and 40th place. Going to be the 23 of Scott Wimmer. And your final row going to be Dave Blaney and the 51 of Eric Norris, rounding out your 42 car field here tonight.
I also want to give credit to Stanton Barrett for getting that car and getting that unsponsored machine in the show.
A solid run for the 95 team, no doubt. He will be starting 5 rows up from the back row.
Start your engines!
Command to fire the engines here from Bristol. 150 laps here under some clouded skies from Tennessee, and the field will roll off with Labonte and Kane to lead the field to the green here today.
You know, this race last year was a very, very caution-filled race. How many do you think we're going to get this week?
Well, it could be a tough one here tonight for these guys. We saw a lot of cautions in the Busch race supporting this weekend. Could see a lot of that in the Cup race, but these guys more experience. Hoping for a cleaner race here tonight. Pace car going to peel off. 150 laps here today. Labonte and Kane on the front row, and we are green here from Bristol.
Buddy, let's go racing, boys!
top line just really didn't get going right from the start there.
Bonte just cleared him off that inside line.
First lap completed here from Bristol. The 18 of Bobby Labonte shoots off into the lead. Jeff Gordon in the 24 moves up into second place. Kane stuck on that outside lane, dropping all the way out of the top 5 as Newman makes some ground on the start as well. Mike Bliss, fourth place starter, falling back as well, but both drivers will remain in the top 10 after a pair of laps. Dale Jarrett nearly in the wall there off of turn number 4 from the 8th position as Kenseth and David Green fight for 9th, and Tony Stewart also finds his way into the top 10 after a short couple of laps completed here from Bristol.
See, that's the hard thing about running at Bristol, is that every restart you're going to take on that outside line, you're not going to have that momentum coming up to you. That inside line will always have that jump. They're always going to clear you, and you're going to be left astray up there, and you're going to have to be praying that you're able to get into that inside line, slot back in. And
You know, that can make these late restarts really interesting and really treacherous when you get a bunch of lap cars on the bottom. But a rare dominant run in the making for Bobby Labonte.
A potential resurgence run out of the 18 for sure, looking quick early in the running, but got a formidable opponent in the form of the 24 trailing him. Lucky with the rule change this season, single file throughout the entire field on every restart, no matter how many lap cars there are. So lucky for those guys when it comes to these caution flags, and expecting plenty of them here tonight, but we'll see. 7 laps completed so far, and all green on the racetrack. It's going to be a lap traffic day here tonight for sure. As always at Bristol, such a short racetrack, you see a lot of cars getting lapped here, and whoever can split their way through the traffic the best throughout these green runs usually is the one that comes out on top.
And, you know, usually you don't see the people that are leading a lot of the laps early on winning this race, because it's hard getting around lap traffic, and it's just a game of who can get around people the quickest.
Never want to be the first one finding that lap traffic at races like this. Top 5 remains unchanged after the initial start. Newman rounding out the top 5 in the 12 car, then Johnson, Burton, Gordon, Labonte, your top 5.
For a lap car, the game is all about survival and trying to make it the least amount of laps down. When Bobby Labonte is going to catch up to the back end of that pack, their whole goal is to block, and they're going to make it their whole goal to bring Labonte trouble. And they do it with Gordon. They do it with anyone else. It's no hard feelings. It's just the nature of the beast.
That's the price you have to pay at a racetrack like this. All green so far throughout the first 12 laps of tonight's race, with Labonte holding a slim lead over the 24 of Gordon, who might be closing in just a smidge, but hard to tell this early on in the running between these two Chevrolets up front.
Seems like everyone's been able to keep their composure pretty well.
Seeming that way, not a single car in the top 10 in the wall as of yet. David Green trailing Tony Stewart for the final spot in the top 10, and it's close between Jarrett and Kenseth for 8th, and 6th place, Kane, staying in front of Bliss in the 81 still for the time being. But once again, it is all Labonte up front as lap traffic is already within the sights of the 18 car. Right in front of him, just about a corner ahead, it is Dave Blaney trailing the pack in 42nd place right now.
And like I said, this is where the challenge is going to start.
Dave and Bobby really does not want to see these people fighting in front of him.
That is.
Dave Blaney's really getting into that yellow line right there. I think Bobby's going to try to make a move on outside. He's making some really weird maneuvers right here.
By Blaney. And Labonte to the first traffic. We'll see how long it takes him to deal with the 77 car of Blaney, with Gordon already right on his back bumper. Normally takes a couple laps for these guys to get used to it, find a way around the slower cars, but with the pace it does happen eventually. You just have to be pretty patient in a race like this with as many laps as there are.
You can't really use the chrome horn in a track as short as this. It gets really narrow. You make one bad tap, you're getting swung around in that wall with him. but with the pressure from Gordon coming behind him, and he's going to be closing in. You're either going to be the one tapping Blaney and turning him over, or Gordon's going to be the one trying to turn you.
Gonna be tough. Labonte's still unable to find a way around this 77 car, and Gordon has closed right up on the back bumper of the 18. 20 laps
Perhaps
completed
Right
so
up
far.
on him. He's looking on that inside line. He can't clear him.
Couldn't quite get there. Blaney up the track just slightly in front of the 18. But Labonte, nothing doing on the 77, still unable to lap a single car. Gordon up the track in 1 and 2 that time. Loses a smidge of time to the 18, but with the slower traffic in front, should be able to gain it right back.
This is reminding me a whole lot of 2004 and 2003.
Familiar
Where
memories right now.
They're very pensive. They're not wanting to make moves, and you can't really blame them after the disaster that was the Busch
Side by
race.
side now
Oh,
for the
inside.
lead. Here's Gordon down low.
Side by side. He can't. Does he have? He's got him.
Gordon with the run. First lead change of the night. Jeff Gordon to P1 ahead of the 18 with help from traffic there, as it is Foltz in the 32 car now in front of the 24. Kind of hoping for these lappers to go side by side as they are right now to help get past a couple of them, as that is Marlin in the 22 on the outside. Bit of trouble for him as he's been going backwards. Here's Johnson on the inside of Burton for third.
And Bobby Labonte's trying to get back to the bumper of Gordon.
Couldn't quite do it. Johnson gets past Burton. Here's Kane. Newman fell out of the top 5 a few laps ago. Labonte stuck on the outside. Here's Johnson in the 48. Down low. Labonte thought about cutting him off there, but not quite clear.
He's going to get him. It's going to be a Hendrick Motorsports 1-2 coming to this line.
Johnson into second. Here's Kane for third.
After starting second and having him fall all the way back down to 6, Casey Kane is finally able to start recovering positions. Thanks to those lap cars right there. Hopefully Sterling Marlin doesn't shut the door on him.
Looking like he's going to, though.
It looked more like Kane shut the door on himself.
Mike Bliss just got by his teammate. Really good run for him today.
Definitely, and
And a much needed good run too with those DNQs early on in the season.
Newman back into the top 5. Here's Burton for 6th as Labonte continues to tumble down the order on that outside after leading about 20-25 laps early on. All the way back down to his other teammate. Here's Tony Stewart from the back end of the top 10, side by side between the 18 and the 20. Harvick looking to capitalize as well, and another 5 or more cars behind with a chance to get underneath.
And that's why you're seeing these drivers not make
And the
very many moves.
Green
Oh,
going
and there's
with him.
Ricky Hendrick right there.
Aggressive moves there. Hendrick found his way under the 21 of green, just about snuck the nose underneath. An opportunistic move, but a good one nonetheless. He's going to get past Kenseth as well. Labonte maybe with a chance to get back on the bottom. No, Ricky Hendrick
Ricky.
down low.
Ricky is not taking any prisoners today.
A track
That's
he's
why
won
I
at
said
in the
about
past.
outside line. You get up there, you're going to be hemorrhaging spots left and right. Bobby Labonte needs to get to that inside right now.
And if you know Ricky Hendrick, he will do whatever it takes to win here.
Definitely that 5 car. Only win in his career came at this track and this very race about 3 years ago. Meanwhile, looking at the front of the field, it is still Gordon. Got a lap car buffer between him and teammate Johnson. Jeff Foltz in the 32 in between him and the 48. As Foltz got a piece of the wall there off of turn 2. Just brushed it. Looking throughout the entire top 10, all these guys back through single file. Mostly everything sorted out after that spurt of action there around lap 30. Most of the field going single file, although David Green and John Wood side by side for 19th place. And Kenny Wallace in the 2 as well, looking to get into the top 20. Bit of right side damage on that 2 car. Hitting the wall. A pretty common sight at this racetrack, though a little bit less today. but the 2 team with a bit of damage, but doesn't seem to be affecting their pace too much, making up a couple spots here and there throughout this run. But focus.
All I'm going to say is I believe that Bristol stripe is just a very poor imitation of the Darlington stripe. Like, they don't even paint the wall. If you're going to keep going at it, just start painting the wall red.
Not something they do. A lot of side-by-side here as this front group with the leaders involved. As that was Barrett in the wall right next to Jimmy Johnson. Looking like it might be 3 wide off of turn 4 here. Here's McMurray. And Marlin taking it 3.
You do not want to see this in your windshield.
Stanton Barrett, he's still holding that 3 wide
blocked
line.
by all of these lappers. Newman and Bliss slip through on the bottom. Tough break for the 38, who loses a couple spots with Barrett stuck on the outside there.
I'm sure Casey's just happy to still be on track after that.
McMurray in the fence. Barrett in the fence again. Very nearly got into Dale Jarrett and Tony Stewart. Jarrett has to dive it on the apron not to cause a crash.
Oh my.
Stanton, I know you were a stunt guy back in the day, but you gotta stop acting like you're in a fucking Die Hard movie.
Side by side there as Kurt Busch is finding his way through. Harvick getting backed up. Here is Elliott Sadler looking for a top 10 running position right now. As the action continues in the midfield thanks to all this lap traffic. That's 3 wide again. There's pole sitter Labonte all the way on the outside. Greg Biffle on the bottom 3 wide. And Harvick takes it 3 wide on Barrett. The 95 nearly into the wall. Kenseth on the inside 3 wide. Here's Scott Riggs down low on the 8 of Dale Jr.
Is Barrett even keeping minimum speed?
Tough to say. 57 making some moves there. Kenseth slips through. Harvick being aggressive as well, though didn't quite pay off. Had to go to the middle instead of the very bottom. Dropping all the way outside of the top 15. Aggressive racing in the midfield.
I mean, you have to be, otherwise you're just going to keep hemorrhaging spots.
Bobby Labante's probably going to have some colorful radio after having to deal with Stanton Barrett right there on that outside lane.
Meanwhile, race leader Jeff Gordon holding a slim P1 gap over the 48 of Johnson. Couple of teammates who spent a lot of last race at Milwaukee around each other. Looking like it's a repeat of last week.
Is Blaney still on the lead lap right there?
Yeah, he is. The 77 been holding off the leaders this entire time despite all the chaos. Has found a way to stay on the lead lap, and that is a commendable drive by the 77 car right now, despite the 37th running position. Better than it looks on the scoring pylon.
Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson are really trying to put up a clinic today.
Definitely taking their time. You see Robbie Gordon, Busch race winner, all the way down in 35th in a 31 car. Blaney's going to go low on him and open the door for race leader Jeff Gordon to put the 31 car a lap down here, and does so without much of a fight. Hornaday looked low on Johnson. Another lap car is the 08, unable to get underneath him, and Robbie Gordon slots in between the 2 Hendrick race leaders. Johnson up the track.
Robbie Gordon does not discriminate with who he races with. It doesn't matter if you're on the lead lap, you're 5 laps down, he's going to race you to and from every end of his bumpers. Everyone's been a victim of this guy, and I honestly can't blame him.
55 of Mayfield going a lap down now as well, not making much of a fight with his teammates leading this race. Way up the track there as they are getting backed up right behind the race leaders. That's Newman trailing this pack in what is currently in 4th place. Bliss also in that mix as they're wrecking on the... And Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson both around on the backstretch. Caution flag is going to come out as Newman is also involved in it. Bliss sliding. They take the yellow flag. Newman in the race lead and Bliss runs into the traffic. That is all the race leaders involved in this one. What in the world?
Like Bliss just keeps having the most interesting drives. You know, there are 2 things you're not supposed to do when you're sponsored by a bank, and that's D&Q and wreck the car. You see, when you're doing that, a bank's putting a deposit with your name on it, and every time you do that, you're burning the money.
caution flag is out. All 4 of the race leaders involved in that caution flag there. That was a tough break, and we are under yellow flag with Newman in the 12, your race leader. Bliss comes home in second after they beat and bang for the lead. Kane slips through into third. Jimmy Johnson way down the order and with damage on the back end. And we will get a look at that one.
The biggest shock is that I never noticed any damage on the 81 after that incident. Especially coming back to the line where he made that dive bomb on Ryan Newman right there.
So caution flag comes out here on lap 54. It was Blaney that we were just talking about there that got into the back bumper of Norris, who went into the outside wall, shoots Blaney right into race leader Jeff Gordon. Blaney comes back across the track, and both of these Hendrick cars that were leading this race, Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, both collected in that incident. All these leaders scrambling to get around that crash, and Newman desperately trying to get back to the race lead, gets into the back of Marlin, and that involves him with Bliss in the 81. They very nearly crashed there, and Bliss couldn't get on the brakes in time for all the traffic, and he spins after the flag. And that backs up.
Do we have a roof cam on the 81?
Absolutely everyone. But we will take it to intermission here from Bristol with pit stops likely to take place under this caution flag. Back under green here from Bristol there with a lot of problems under that last caution in the pit lane. A couple of cars getting trapped a lap down, a couple of cars with a lot of damage, and the caution is immediately back out. We are already under yellow once more.
Bobby
Well, if you were a fan of the Busch race, I think you're going to be real excited here.
We're looking like there was an accident on the front stretch there. We'll have a look. Yep, smoke up in front. Hard to see here. 95, a Barrett. Got it into the wall again. And contact with the 26, and he goes right around in front of Bobby Labonte in the 18.
He made a tiny little spin, and then he just kept going.
A couple of cars going to come back down pit road here under this caution period. But the 12 of Newman will remain in the race lead.
Well, this could get real interesting real quick.
Just prior to halfway, a little over 60 laps completed here from Bristol.
I mean, this does put you in the fuel run, and tires matter here.
Definitely do, but with only one lap completed, I'm not entirely sure on this. But nevertheless, these are professional crew chiefs. They definitely know what they're doing here. We'll take you back
Are you
to
sure
English.
about that?
19, and the 19's peeling off.
Back under caution here from Bristol, Jeff Gordon and Scott Wimmer off the start once again. Another very quick crash and a hard hit for the 24 of Jeff Gordon. into the inside wall there with the 23 of Wimmer. A tough crash. Another one right on the restart. Couldn't even get back to the broadcast before that happened, but yeah, Wimmer up and into the wall, another car in the fence on the restart, and Jeff Gordon takes a very hard hit, and one of the fast cars out of this one real quick.
Jeff Gordon's
And we have another crash there coming back to the caution flag. That is Andretti and the 68 car of Sauter in the inside wall.
Don't careful rejoin the track, Johnny.
Let's have a look at this one. That is, yeah, Andretti got
That's
the
a
fence.
good old-fashioned accordion right there.
Another accident. So 2 crashes, and Andretti was way up the order and is going to have to pass all these guys, but we are under caution once more.
Got a good old
Still
2-for-1 special right there.
And looking like we are going to have yet more pit stops. Labonte leaving his pit box there. Just a lot of cars needing to get their laps back with all of this pit stop drama under these caution flags. A lot of people coming in. Once again, pretty much all the top 10 and all these guys who pit under that last caution are going to be up front now. And we will wait for these groups to cycle out. Hard to say, although some of these lap cars are going to be coming in, and it is going to be Terry Labonte in the 44 car will be your race leader. How about that? So the 18 machine in front here is going to be waved around with the 44 there. And Labonte will be back on the lead lap with the pit stop problems anyhow, so just waving around to get one of those two. Comes out in front, and like I said, Terry Labonte, part-time this year in the 44 car, is going to be your race leader. We take it back to intermission here from Bristol. We will be right back. Back under green once again, it is Terry Labonte, like we said, out front. That is John Wood on the inside of Thompson Jr. for the second position. And how about Todd Bodine up in there as John Wood grabbed the wall in the 6. Here's the 26 down low to take second, and Terry Labonte with damage is going to go into the pits, and Todd Bodine inherits your race lead.
I'm watching this race and everything's just going backwards now, Caden.
Lot of trouble for a lot of guys, but after all of that drama and those quick succession cautions, It is Todd Bodine and John Wood in the lead of this race. Elliott Sadler just merged from the pits in between second place Wood and third place Thompson Jr. Leffler and Biffle round out your top 5. How about this mix-up? Eric Norris in the top 10 as well.
And Eric Norris started all the way in the back of the
Man.
field in 42nd position. This is a brilliant run for him.
Okay, someone needs to get Stanton off the track.
Yeah, I think
He's just a hazard out there.
I'm more shocked that, they haven't noticed him until now. I mean, I've been
lot of
saying
cars
already,
in
this
the
stuff,
pit
man,
lane.
needs to get off the dang old track.
Wimmer emerging from the pits, 3 wide. There is David Green in the middle there as Jimmy Johnson trying to find his way back through the field after that early yellow. Terry Labonte rejoining the field. This is a conglomerate of race cars in the back of the pack right now. Dale Jr. on the apron. Stewart and Wimmer getting close there. This is all for the mid to late 20 positions right now.
If this race is a tornado, we're right in the eye of the storm.
Just past halfway here. This is a tough mix right now, but looking back towards the front of the field, your race leader still the 26 of Todd Bodine.
Going as
You know,
fast.
that Todd Bodine and that 26 team has always been good at Bristol.
Absolutely, every single one of their great runs comes at this racetrack, and today is no different, and not even looking slow on the racetrack either. Really nice run by him put together so far today. 68 car of Sauter into the pits, as well as some of these guys keep collecting damage. A lot of more guys, a lot more mistakes past halfway in this run. We've seen a lot of people in the wall so far right now. Battle for the 4th spot between Biffle and Leffler as those two go side by side. Nice run by rookie part-timer in the 14 car for that Haas team, running in 5th. Just above 60 laps to go here from Bristol. Todd Bodine out front Terry Labonte, who was leading the race until he had to bring it down pit road all the way down in 37th. Looking like he is 4 laps down right now. A lot of cars trapped multiple laps down. Seeing a lot of 2s, 3s, and 4s there. It has been a standout run now for a lot of these guys in this top 5 after the absolute pandemonium under those couple cautions. Taking a lot of cars out of contention and a lot of cars with damage and shuffling the order to high hell. But it is all 26 in that Sonic Rush. Ford out front with second place John Wood, trailing by a little over a second in the 6. Now 59 laps to go here from Bristol. Todd Bodine catching up to lap traffic, very nearly got into the 08 of Hornaday there and finding his way underneath. Got real checked up on the bottom.
Looks like
Side by
Todd
side.
caught a bit too much of the apron that lap.
A little bit tight, but did eventually get around Hornaday and has his first car lapped under his belt as the race leader. And if you're these guys like Bodine and John Wood who pit under the second caution in hopes that they'd get another and did, and now out front comfortably, would love for this race with less competitive cars in it now to go green all the way to the end. Still 39 cars left on the track, but a majority of them damaged and laps down. Still a little around 30 cars on the lead lap. Jimmy Johnson represents the last car on the lead lap in the 48 with that damage from the first caution. But a lot of damaged cars and uncompetitive cars as Bodine goes up the track there in 1 and 2. Might have missed the corner.
Right in the danger zone for him. John Wood is starting to gain on him right there with 1 and 2, but Ron Hornaday is going to hold him off for a little bit until he can find a way around him.
Another standout run for the 6 team. John Wood filling in for an injured Mark Martin. Standout runs after standout run. Been absolutely stellar in his sub-in role in the 6 team after Martin dipped out after speed weeks. Excuse me, in 2nd place, with a comfortable gap to 3rd place, Don Thompson Jr. Biffle slowly finding his way throughout this top group. He's definitely the fastest car in the top 5 right now, and not a surprise. But he's got a lot of work cut out to him if he wants to get all the way up to the race lead. He's sadly...
That work becomes a whole lot easier if we get a yellow.
That's why we're talking about these guys who have got cut a break and are having great runs because of that caution. Would really love for this thing to go green, but Bodine is going to have his work cut out for him with how much time Biffle and Kane also are gaining.
Considering how tight this track gets, all those lap cars, I mean, Bodine might have the advantage here.
He's already
as long as there's no yellow, he's good.
He's already put 4 or 5 lap cars as a buffer between him and the 16 of Biffle. Biffle struggling a little bit with David Green right now. Struggling a lot as he was very slow off of turn 4 that time. Got checked up. So, Todd Bodine doing a heck of a job right now, although Terry Labonte gets back underneath him, and that could spell disaster for the 26 if he gets stuck on the outside here, especially behind that 43, who's not looking too quick right now. Holding his own on the outside on the 44, though. And eventually, no, is going to falter now. This is going to be tough. Stuck on the outside with all of these lappers getting underneath and finding their way through. That is going to open the door for John Wood maybe to take the race lead. No, a run off of turn 4, and Bodine stays clear of the 08 and holds on to the race lead, but loses all of that buffer that he had built up over the 6 and 16. And he's going to have to play some defense now if he wants to hold on to this race lead, although John Wood losing a bit of that gap as he struggles to get around the 08 of Hornaday, but now is clear in 2nd place.
And now we have a jam sandwich beginning to form over here.
Yeah, these guys really finding it tough to navigate all the lap traffic very nearly 3 wide. Elias Sadler almost got taken 3 by McMurray and Kyle Busch. A lot of faster cars in a group for the final couple spots outside of the top 5 as Busch, Edwards, and Kane all fight for that 5th spot as Edwards got dipped down onto the apron. Thought he was going to pit, but nope, just a bad line choice, and Edwards drops back. Kyle Busch into P5.
But once again, it's John Andretti giving Todd Bodine fits.
It's a tough fight. Andretti looking to stay on the lead lap. Rightfully so, but Bodine, with the 6 of John Wood trailing with 40 laps to go, this could get interesting for the race lead in a few laps here.
Just gotta get by Andretti. He just needs another car to be his buffer, because Wood is closing really fast in that 6 car.
14 car of Leffler into the pits. Looking like it might have been for damage repairs. A lot of these pit stops that we've seen under this run have all been to repair that damaged right side. Andretti up the track a lot. He gets a piece of the wall, scares Bodine down the track, but the 26 gets around him. But trouble for him is that John Wood isn't going to get stuck behind Andretti and is clear once again and has his sights set on that 26 car. This is where this race really starts to wind down. Inside the final 50 to 40 laps, Bodine still holding on to the lead. Both of these guys, Wood and Bodine, looking for career-defining wins here tonight, with the 16 of Biffle lurking in the distance. A couple lap cars between him and the race leaders, but he still threatens to steal this one from these two upset drivers up front as John Wood is closing in on Bodine for the race lead.
Excellent corner there by Todd.
And he's going to have to make it count here. He's got lap traffic in front of him once again, though these guys not slouches. Newman and Burton spent a big portion of this race in that top 5. So would be unsurprising if it's a struggle for Wood and Bodine to get around the lap traffic. Biffle still lurking in third, looking a smidge faster than these two leaders. But it's tough to pass at this racetrack, and we'll see if he can maybe try to get there, but it's going to be tough if he wants to win this race. It's going to be tough for any of these guys to win this race. Bodine's got a heck of a lot of defense to put up on the 6 and 16. John Wood, his teammate, lurking behind him with the task of getting around Bodine for that P1 spot. But as these laps wind down further and further, it looks like it's going to be between these three for the race win, and mainly these two, as Bodine has put a buffer to Wood, but now has caught up to the lap traffic. Labonte slips underneath the 99 of Burton. That could open the door for Bodine to make it easier for him. And Burton teammates with Wood, so we'll see how that plays out. If Wood can get under him here, it looks like he's going to right away. Yes, he does. Gets close to the teammate there. Very nearly got into the left rear of Burton there in turn 1, but he gets right past. No buffer for Bodine yet. With 30 laps to go. Now 28 laps remaining here for Bristol. Todd Bodine with the race of his life, as well as John Wood, as Labonte tried to cut down on the 26. Bodine said, no thank you. This late in the race, getting the elbows out. But once again, Wood is going to be able to follow through here, I think. Maybe not, though. No, a bit of a poor exit from the 6. And the 44 of Terry Labonte is going to stay in front of him here. And there's the buffer Bodine was looking for. That 26 is starting to scoot away. 25 laps to go here from Bristol. John Wood still got his work cut out for him. And the 16 car of Biffle is down pit road. Not enough fuel, and Biffle's going to have to make a pit stop. Now that raises the question of if the 6 and the 26 can make it to the flag.
This is going to be a very intense stretch for Todd Bodine. And his crew chief's just rattling in that chair. Does he have enough fuel? Can he hold on for the next 24, 23 laps? And hold off John Wood at the same time?
Gonna be tough. We're gonna find out if that 26 has enough fuel to bring it to the flag. And even if he doesn't, he had that buffer to the 16. Biffle was quite a ways behind the 6 and especially the 26. Do they have enough fuel to make it? It was only Robbie Gordon and Greg Biffle down pit road that time. No one else in the pit lane right now, not seeing any activity at the moment. One car between Wood and Bodine. This is gonna be dicey as you see Robbie Gordon leaving the pit lane. Will not be a traffic factor for Todd Bodine, as he's definitely going to be on those fresh tires and a lot faster. As the lap times continue to plummet, you wonder about the shortcut with the 16, as here's Terry Labonte getting back past Bodine to get back onto I believe that's going to be 4, maybe 3 laps down. It's hard to tell. And here is John Wood for the race lead.
Oh, Todd.
Struggle to find grip for the 26, and the 6 car is through into first. Just inside 20 laps to go. But now Wood struggling a little bit. Bodine closes back up. This is a tight battle between these two on these old tires. Wood getting aggressive with the lap traffic. He gets under the 12 of Newman. And Bodine sits behind with a chance to retake the lead. Wood blocks. Bodine back down low. Staying down there with trouble trying to get back past the 12. He does eventually, but not without losing a little bit of time to John Wood, but Wood still got more traffic in front of him.
And now you've got lap cars on fresher tires. They're gonna try and get around the leaders.
Bodine right there. Oh, but he got crossed up. Newman's gonna go underneath him. Just nothing doing, and Bodine unable to capitalize on Wood being held up there. 15 now, 14 laps to go for the race leader, John Wood, who has stolen the show from the 26 car. Wood just running away as Bodine is absolutely struggling right now. And the caution flag is out! We are under caution. Greg Biffle around on the backstretch. This changes everything.
Oh, I feel so bad for John Wood.
We
All
are
right,
under caution. Greg Biffle around on the backstretch. The strategy call for him does not play out. Let's look at the replay here. And man, got into Harvick and spins himself around.
I think an immense amount of credit needs to go to Dave Blaney for not getting caught in that.
Just the frustration with Biffle, I believe, not being able to get to the end there. He knew he was faster than those leaders, trying to make up time, and just gets straight into the 29 of Harvick. Top 10 car, as a matter of fact, as Biffle was trying to make up as much time as he could, and that will bring out the caution flag. Now the question is, do these guys stay out, or do they come down pit road for fresh tires?
I mean, that...
They are going to stay out. And obviously, with the changed wave around rules, none of these guys who are in between these top 5 drivers are going to be waving around. And John Wood has to be thanking his lucky stars that he's not going to have no traffic between him and these faster cars, because Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch, Busch brothers, as well as Casey Kane, absolutely looking like they were a lot faster than these two leaders who are now going to have all of these lap cars to buffer. And it'll be Ryan Newman in the 12 car earning lucky dog here under this caution period. We take you to intermission. Going to be the final 10 laps here from Bristol coming up in just a moment.
Watch, we get this massive wreck, and it just ends up being a fucking Kevin Harvick win or a Matt Kenseth win.
Potentially. back from intermission here at Bristol. We are going to be going green with 8 laps to go. John Wood in the 6 in control of this race, hoping he can keep the lap cars behind him. It will be Todd Bodine hoping that the lap cars will get underneath him from second place. Third is Kyle Busch, a long way behind. Kurt Busch, his brother, in fourth. And Casey Kane rounds out the top 5. Pace car peels off. 8 to go. John Wood has the lead. We're back under green here from Bristol.
Not the best restart for Todd Bodine. He's fallen back a bit, but all it's going to take is one bad corner for John Wood. And Todd Bodine's back in this. These laps, they go pretty fast.
Wimmer not looking very fast. Wood absolutely kind of pulling away from the 23 there. John with the lead. Bodine up the track. Look, he's going to keep the 43 at bay. Lucky that the 43 not looking too quick right now. Newman went into the pits. The 16 into the pits again as well. Fuel mileage still a lingering question. We're going to see. But with the fact that they stayed out, I would imagine that the 26 and 6 probably can make it to the end of this, but that's just an assumption. 5 laps to go for John Wood out front, looking for his first career Coca-Cola Cup Series win here from Bristol. Newman merging from the pits right in front of Bodine isn't going to get too much in the way, and you can imagine those... Did he take tires there? I do not believe he did. No, he did not. It was tires for the 16. Bodine up the track, almost into the wall. This race looking like it's sealed and over with right now. Three coming to 2 laps to go for the 6 of John Wood, the race of his life right now. 2 laps remaining from Bristol. All he's got to do is cruise. Bodine still falling backwards. Could lose 3rd, 4th, and maybe even 5th. But that doesn't matter to the 6 car right now. White flag is in the air. The last lap for John Wood. Joined the Cup team as a fill-in, running the Busch Series full-time in the 6 car to fill in for an injured Mark Martin. Never could he have imagined, as they wreck on the backstretch, never could he have imagined that he would get this opportunity. John Wood, first career win in the NASCAR Coca-Cola Cup Series. He takes this victory here from Bristol. Second place will remain the 26 of Todd Bodine. A valiant effort here tonight for him. Third place ends up being a surprise 55. Jeremy Mayfield comes home. 4th is going to be Kyle Busch, and 5th goes to brother Kurt in the 01 car. What a way for this race to end, and the 6 car of John Wood, first time winner here from Bristol. How about that?
Massive, massive win for John Wood today. I bet Mark Martin, even though it hurts sitting on that couch at home, you know he's happy to see his car in victory lane.
You saw that accident there on the backstretch involving the 21 car and the 43. Believe it was Andretti, yes, who washed out wide, got the wall, nowhere for David Green to go. Those two battling for position, 23rd and 24th, as Andretti got away from the crash just about. That costs David Green quite a few positions there, but that is going to do it here from Bristol. A feel-good story here tonight, for sure. And also would like to see if I can see where those tire marks came from. Oh, they wrecked again. That was a couple of teammates there. 44 and 25 around. On the inside there. Yeah, 21 car getting back on the track. Terry Labonte didn't quite give him enough space to do so, and gets turned around by Vickers in the 25. Don't believe he officially lost any positions there. I believe he was last on the lead lap. So I actually did lose just a couple spots, down to 22nd. But how about that John Wood first career win for him in the Busch Series. Imagine that. Not the Busch Series. I'm stupid. Busch Series driver in the Cup Series, taking his first Coca-Cola Cup win. Like I said, that is a feel-good story for sure. Wood, without a win in his career in the Busch Series, that is, gets his first Cup win before he wins in the Busch Series, despite a couple of full-time seasons, including the one in progress this season. But nonetheless, gonna grab that free cam and get a picture for him. His first win, as we said. Love to see that for sure. It's a tough break, though, without question, for Todd Bodine. Would have loved to have seen him win that race. Led a lot of laps there, was looking like he had it made, and just that car fell off coming to the end of that race for sure.
Just ran out of pace.
Could not get it to stay on the bottom, and the lap cars took advantage, and John Wood took advantage. So congratulations to the 6 team on the win here tonight. A great race all around from Bristol, quite frankly. But we'll catch you next time on behalf of the commentary booth. Thanks for Trey and Braden joining me here tonight. We'll catch you next time. Race number 7, I believe. No, yes, it is. Number 7 will be coming from Twin Ring, across the pond from Japan, for some intermediate action, the Samsung 500. We'll catch you then. I'm Caden Reif, and as always, have a good one.
It's a long way to the top.